Hey, I'm your host from a fake podcast or something. That's my name.
How does that make me feel? I'm the co-host to a fake podcast.
No, that's a parody of... Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. What you thinking about this show? I thought it was pretty good.
Am I thinking?
No? Oh.
As I always say, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Interview with
Rahm Emmanual.
Chicago, Rahm Emmanual.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he's known to be scum, but he had a good presentation in this interview.
Yeah, I heard in the green room he was scum, but...
Right. I need to confirm if he... Did he thrust the knife into the table? Is that
him? I don't know. I thought he actually made some good points in the interview.
Oh, yeah.
I liked what he had to say about... I didn't like what he had to say about Amazon.
Because he... Oh, yeah. He's pro Amazon or whatever he wants him. Right? Is that
he dodged the question about, cities bribing corporations to set up shop, which was,
Yeah.
I think he was backfooted there by Bill, which is, good for Bill.
Yeah, but there isn't really a sort of a good moderate democratic answer for that yet.
But I feel like it was interesting to see one of these sort of like mainstream democratic establishment figures on the way out, going into retirement or semi-retirement or whatever they do, getting a boathouse in New Haven, or I don't know what they do. So he was just giving like real basic answers to things. So he was like, Bill was asking about who does he think is going to be good in the campaign. He's like, well, you'll see who's good,
That's a good point.
Yeah, whereas, Bill de Blasio would be like, I'm going to be good, or, it was just like nice to hear an honest answer in that respect.
And I'm telling you, February 18th, is it the 18th? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But just for the last time, getting it out there, Marianne Williamson could win.
Do you want to give odds on that, or we'll do that next time?
Yeah.
So on to the panel.
Or be the nominee.
David Frum. I have problems with David Frum. I always have problems with David Frum.
Oh, same.
What was he even saying half the time?
I mean, part of the issue is that in his media bubble and in the normie media bubble that the left alternative media is not reaching, there's no Venezuela issue constituency. There isn't this that's not developed enough yet. Thankfully, I'm glad props to John Legend for speaking up for Palestinian human rights.
And Bill for calling him out earlier in the show, when he was, they were talking about Trump's national emergency, and David Frum is just going to go, well, going into all this deep into the weeds about all these constitutional things that nobody in America knows anything about or cares about. And Bill was like, come on, get real.
I hate that stance of well, you plebes don't know, but we at The Atlantic and our legal team know about all these important things, and this is how it's really going to play at the water cooler. You fucking fucks don't know how it's going to play. You don't know.
Stop pretending you didn't see this coming, You didn't see this coming. Why you're even on a show like this now as a supposed expert. You should be counting your lucky stars they let you on TV.
Yes, and sending pencils from a cup, really.
So good for Bill. Good for Bill for pointing that out. I thought that was one of his better moments tonight.
And what was the thing where they were like, Paul Begala agreed. Basically, what's her? I forget it. Mila Wiley. Mila Wiley and Maya Wiley and David Frum were like. Basically being like, the noose is tightening. It's around Trump again, tighter and tighter and tighter. And Bill and thankfully Paul were like, they're not, they're not going to care about that.
Yeah, that's not real. This is just, you guys live in
bubble land.
Fantasy land. Yeah. We talked a bit more about the governor of Virginia and I think that was where the discussion really got interesting tonight.
Yeah.
What were you thinking there?
Well, as a touch point I like the idea that he should stay on. As funny as it is to see someone make such a flub, I like the idea of someone staying staying on, and the whole the funniness. It's a sort of a bad Schadenfreude sort of funny. So I tempt.
That's the best kind of funny. Politics.
I know.
There's no other kind of funny.
I know, but we as a society need to break out of that, which is part of the Twitter thing. So, but I like the idea that he should stay on just as a sort of fuck you to the politics of Twitter outrage. Like, look at what's happening with the Jussie Smollett case or any number of these things. Stop making a crusade and a news story out of every single little cultural minutia event. It's nothing. When you make mountains out of these things, the blowback and chaos is going to multiply.
Yeah, I mean, you can't keep decapitating good... or, allies in the good fight, really, Like...
Yeah, or pretend... or crying wolf.
Politics makes strange bedfellows, to borrow yet another cliche, but you know what I mean? It's like, especially now, you just can't demand complete purity. It's unfeasible, it's unrealistic. And I think that's basically what the panel, they all seem to come to that conclusion. When it really got heated was when David Frum made some sort of weird, out of left field... he tried to liken the debate with Israel and Palestine to the debate about Venezuela. Like, that was annoying too. What was he?
I think he was.
What was his point?
I think he was saying that the left has misplaced sympathy for a variety of regimes because they use rhetoric. Because I guess his thinking is foreign regimes and actors use rhetoric that resonates with the left because they support a more social democratic pattern of economic arrangements and I guess more cooperative world order. And it's like, well, it would take a few minutes to go into that, but basically, David Frum sucks, and yeah. Not that there's nothing wrong with the Maduro government.
Nobody. That's the thing. I don't think anybody on the left is actually saying that anymore. What they're saying is, well, maybe we shouldn't engage in regime change.
That's the main.
And the people in favor of that are using the left rhetoric as a stick to beat the opposition with.
Yeah, I mean, even Tulsi Gabbard.
It's like, no, I wanted to be like, no, David Frum, you don't be conned. Like, you're the idiot here.
Yep. No one but Max Blumenthal and a few small people who command no visibility and whose best hope is to have a little debate on Democracy Now! That no one watches. No one except those people is actually saying we have misjudged the Maduro government. The sanctions are the thing that we should really be outraged about, etc. But the sort of more mainstream left, the Young Turks left, if you like, and to the left of that, is really all they're doing is just being a little skeptical. They're being a little skeptical and paying attention to Ilhan Omar, to questioning Elliot Abrams, and be like, maybe we shouldn't have a war. And it doesn't help when David Frum, whose hands probably aren't clean either, is basically being like, fuck you, Bernie Bros.
Fashion-wise, I thought John Legend looked really nice tonight. I mean, he was dressed quite casually, but I liked the black turtleneck with the suede jacket. I thought that looked really nice. I liked David Frum's suit, but I really didn't like. I hate this lazy combination that pundits and politicians need to wear of like a navy suit with a black plain satin tie. It's very cheap looking. Very cheap, and it didn't, not good. I'd have to give tonight's best dress to John Legend.
I wasn't a big fan of. I could be persuaded, but not to say they didn't look nice. Didn't stand out for me personally.
Who would you give it to?
What? I don't know.
We can't give it to Bill every night.
Right.
He has a wardrobe department. The other guests don't.
Oh, I really want to make a joke about Milo. What's her name? Maya Wiley. Sorry.
I really want you to make a joke.
No, it's not a joke. It's just Melissa Harris Perry also had a show on MSNBC. And she's also a black woman. And they had somewhat similar hair, in my opinion. Is that so bad to say?
No.
All right.
But your point is? Northam?
I don't know. I don't know, and that seems like a good way.
And once again, at the end of the week, neither of us know. That's why we keep watching. Yeah. We hope that's why you keep listening.
Yeah. And I'm not Ray Northam, so
Nobody was calling you Ray Northam.
I know, anyway. Anyway, I thought it was a pretty good episode. B+ or A-?
B+.